cabeza un entrenador que después de un partido sale y automáticamente le vienen... Bueno, piensa en decir excusa. ¿Cuál creéis que es el proceso mental de un entrenador para soltar una excusa antes... Que muchas veces van las dos cosas de la mano, ¿eh? Igual hacen autocrítica y luego ponen la excusa. ¿Pero qué creéis que pasa?
Sí, lo quieren en caliente. Creo que tiene que ver mucho con eso también, que no pasó el tiempo suficiente entre que haya terminado el partido y que les toque declarar. Pero ahora también de una característica.
You are right now.
Así como en el fútbol ponen excusas y lo hacen hasta de manera impulsiva, probablemente.
Volume max. All right, here we go. Volume was gone. Let me turn this down quickly and give you guys a heads up for those Spanish speakers, Spanish understanding listeners. Check out Fútbol Postmoderno. Check it out. Taps. This, unless you speak Spanish, which I don't know if you do, might be one you have to sit out on. Fútbol Postmoderno. I say taps because you, my friend, gobble up every single bit of content that's out there on the interwebs when it comes to football. And then some, probably. Check this one out. It's Hugo Lobo, Julian Castellani, and another host who I don't know. I mentioned Hugo and Julian because they are two friends of mine. I did my master's in sports journalism with these two fine gentlemen, and they have recently, quite recent, a few months back, started their own podcast. I'm happy they did because they're great connoisseurs of the game. Their topics of discussion are very interesting. So they got a listener in me when time permits. And I thought I'd give him a quick shout out. Fútbol Postmoderno, Hugo, Julián, trabajo muy bien hecho. Befet, chicos. All right, let's get to churros, shall we? A solo sesh, as we are going to discuss Barça Atletico. And good game over at the Camp Nou on el Día de San Jordi. Bona diada, tothom that celebrated it. A solo sesh, why, you might ask? I think Kiyan is traveling. I'm not 100% sure, actually. I tried to hit him up. I said 6, as always, 6:30, and no word from the good man. So, Kiyan, if you see this, I hope you're well. Let me know exactly what the plan is. If I checked the Champions League schedule, Madrid don't play until the 9th. So I can't imagine that you're traveling once again back to back. You were just in Madrid to then travel all the way back to who you're playing next. It'll probably be like Madrid Rayo or something. But yeah, I know that City is the 9th. So I read you guys are playing Girona. Bueno, hey, you should fucking travel. You're playing away in Girona. Here I thought you were playing at home. That's tomorrow. You should be here for that because we could have hung out. Oh, well. Hopefully he'll do that. He'll be giving me a surprise visit and we record another podcast tomorrow. Who knows? But, yeah. Let me know you're okay, buddy. All right? So, let's talk a little bit about Hamaji Bigo as well. Why not? And Camavinga, great game by Camavinga. But I want to start with the big one. Let's skip the entree, okay? I know that in chronological order, I should be starting then with Hamaji. Was it Celta, right? Yeah, Celta. And but the main course was yesterday's Spotify Camp Nou match day 30, first against third. One of those clashes do you have marked red in your calendars Barça Atleti, always a showdown between two of the biggest. And big test, of course, for Cholo Simeone, a Cholo that hasn't been able to win yet in the Camp Nou. 9 losses, 7 draws, if I'm not mistaken, in 16 games that he's played at the Camp Nou. And, of course, in terms of Xavi against Cholo, well, this is Xavi's 3rd consecutive defeat over El Cholo. Pretty big, that. Another interesting stat. He came hot off the press, of course, before the last Clásico and against with his numbers against Ancelotti as well. Good numbers against Cholo. For those that say that Xavi doesn't know how to win important games, well, you know, the stats don't lie. And of course, also Barça coming off the back of 2 consecutive 0-0 draws. We were in dire need of some goals. The 10th, I'm throwing my motherfucking facts out here, folks. Top of the dome. 10th 1-0 victory for Barça in the Liga so far, and the 10th, of course, 1-0 victory of the 24 wins that they have picked up so far. Is that something to brag about? No, I don't think so. But what is something to brag about, this was all going to be stats, baby, and I've got no notes, nothing on the screens neither. 9 goals conceded, and that's for Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, keeping that record. 23rd clean sheet of the season in the 30 games played. That's impressive, man. Let me say that again. 23rd clean sheet in the 30 games so far played. Absolutely ridiculous. That's absolutely ludicrous. And what else? I got more for you, motherfuckers. You just wait. He tied Claudio Bravo. Tying Claudio Bravo's amount of clean sheets in a season. Now, mind you, Claudio Bravo's was in an entire season. We still got 8 games left to play. It's nuts. It was, of course, a battle between goalkeepers in that sense as well. 2 of the best. Oblak against Ter Stegen. Oblak after the game, super gracious with his words, with his compliments to Marky Mark, saying that yes, you know, the best, one of the best this season, been the best, and deserves a Zamora trophy. Crazy to think that Marc-Andre Ter Stegen still hasn't won a Zamora, but he hasn't. And, of course, he's well on his way of doing so this year. I mean, he's the best in all European leagues as well. It's just, it's nuts. It's not the Ruskies, okay? That's what it is. Anything else? Come on, let me throw one more out there. I think I squeezed all the juice out. Is there still one last drop? I thought you said something. I don't know. Maybe another one will come to me. But yeah, on his way of just setting a record-breaking season. Well, we've been talking about it all season already. It's just crazy that with the passing of each and every single game, Ter Stegen keeps adding to his record so far. It's just, you know, Atletico had great chances as well. I mean, there was Griezmann's chance. Carrasco had a chance. Griezmann had a couple chances. Griezmann right from the bat, right from the get-go, in the first minute, lobbed it off the crossbar, and then he had this sick little back heel later as well in the game. Man, I look exhausted. I feel really tired, folks. This is gonna be a short one. That's what she say. But God, I had a long weekend. And I have allergies and shit. That's why my eyes are all like, So some of you might remember that on Friday, I promised to put something out for Patreons And I was like, you know what? Let me give them instead of giving you this teaser, where I was, mentioning that I'd secretly recorded a phone conversation with my best buddy, Nevin in the house, Big Swiss. Yo, Big Swiss. And I said, I'm going to put this up on Patreon because I thought it was a funny phone conversation that would give you guys some privy insight to... Oh, what? What the? Look at that thing. Get back there. There. Yes. Some pretty privy access, behind the scenes look on how I went about to prepare this massive event for my former high school, this fundraiser gala, which I was invited for to host, which I was super excited for, and really turned out to be a whole lot of fun, a great experience. Learned a lot for sure on how to speak and address a big public. I mean, I have spoken in front of 300 people before, but that are there to be rowdy and have fun. It was a new experience, different experience. And I loved it, learned from it. Loved it, learned it, smashed it. Fuck out of here. No, I did. I loved it. I learned it from it. And hopefully we'll be able to repeat soon. Anyway, with regards to the speech, I figured I'll give you guys the end product rather than the mise en place. See you guys the making of. Instead, give you the main course straight away. But then I saw nobody really reacted, so I was like, well, is this even fucking relevant? Maybe, what am I doing? Should I even, It's something completely unrelated to football and sports for that matter. So it has everything to do with my moving from my first big move when I was 11 years old from a place once called Holland to the Schweiz. Swiss Germans. The only people I have ever met that are able to express affirmation, rejection, and hesitation in one sentence, no, in 3 words. And it goes like this. Ilnai. Olde. Ilnai. Olde. It literally translates to yes, no, or... And they say that all the fucking time. It's hilarious. Bis jetzt alles tipptopp, Alter. Bis jetzt der Pod super. Alles gut. Also, kommen wir weiter, oder? Let's move on. So yeah, anyways, I didn't know if I should put it up on Churros. I'm like, is this even relevant? My background story and moving country, cultural shock for sure. It was... Life started to become very different when we moved from Holland to the Schweiz. Certainly improved and has given me a privileged and global connection and perspective of the world, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, to give you an idea, my 5 closest friends, and this is not an exaggeration, all stem from my time at that international school, and I haven't been in a place where I made such tight connections. These are friends from mine since I was 13. So nearly 3 decades later, I still regard and hold these friendships that I made there closest to me. My buddy Paul in Australia, Craig, the South African Scot, Alan Murrah, Al. I know you didn't want me to say your last name. He's a SEAL now. He's in the US. Shai, of course, Shai Omer. I don't know. I'll just roll off some last names. Israel. I have Jada. She's from Turkey. Maz from Lebanon. Although he was from a little bit later on, but and then of course my closest buddy as well, Nevin, the guy who I had the phone conversation with, and he is in Zurich, in Switzerland, Zurich based, and he's also a fucked up just character, but culturally, his mom's Croatian, his dad is Swiss, but Swiss German or Swiss French, I believe, but lived all his entire life in Madrid, actually. So, yeah, man. Paul, Nev, don't ever say I never fucking think about you guys or mention you. I'm rambling on my podcast on this Monday for Churros. I can't roll the R's. I am dead. Quickly, I finish up while I'm dead, and then we're back to football, okay? Did that, smashed it, had to catch the flight the morning after, stayed up all night with Nev, yada yada, drinks, chatterboxing all night, catching up was awesome with other alumni, faces I haven't seen in a long time. Flight in the morning, my son's birthday is on Saturday, bam, land, family picks me up, we go to the basketball game, his basketball club, my son plays basketball, they had organized already since some time that the whole club was going to go and watch the Barça basketball team play that day, Gran Canaria. So I'm like there with bags like this, completely exhausted, hungover, whatnot, going to the game. We had to be there mad early to get organized, and they had these cute t-shirts. So basically they were going to get a chance to meet the players or take a quick picture with the players after the game as well. So they all wore these t-shirts, and it was all excellent. It was fantastic. It was great, very nicely organized, and the basketball game was great. It was Barça won rather comfortably, but Gran Canaria gave it their best. It was an entertaining day and match. And like I said, it was Dia de San Jordi yesterday, but already on Saturday there was it was a festive atmosphere in the air, So that was really cool, but exhausted, got home, just went boop, was out even before my kids were gone. And then yesterday, my son's birthday party with the friends and all the parents, and we went to an escape room. Oh my God. So I'm sort of recovering. Like I've had a solidly 7 hours of sleep. But at like 40, you sometimes need a day or two to get over certain night outs, let's say. That was one of the cases. But I'm, my battery's recharged enough. Go pick up some of the kids. The rest of the kids, we were going to meet downtown Barcelona for Boiga and Goikos, great burger place. A little bit overrated, in my opinion, but still worth it. Had some Boigas, got the batteries charged to go to this escape room. We're like 8, 9 kids. My son turned 8, and all the parents and my wife included is like, hey, you the entertainer, you should go be the adult that goes with the kids into the room. And I'm like, fuck, all right. I'm like, fine. I kind of assume the role of like, hey, the entertainer. I don't know. Even if I look like I do like this. I get it. It's sort of naturally within. So I'll take one for the team. I did it. Big mistake, man. Any parents watching this, do not take your kids to an escape room until they are 11, I would say. 11, 12, you're safe. They're not going to shit themselves and cry and ask for their parents and try to run out the room, which is exactly what happened. All right. As soon as that, we got the lowdown from this chick, she's like in her teens. She doesn't give a fuck. She's working on a Sunday. She just can't wait to get out and go out with her friends. So she gives us a lowdown. We went into this Harry Potter escape room. Okay. Harry Potter themed escape room. Long story short, the escape room, for those who don't know what it is, you have to look for clues to get out the fucking room, okay? They put you in a room, they lock you in. They don't lock you in. They lock you in, and they tell you they lock you in, and they're like, figure it out. You have an hour. See ya! And I'm there with these kids, and they're now learning to read, but they can't read fluently. So I'm there, obviously, as the adult, just making sure that they read the hints and give them a hand. Well, it very soon became just like Saw. How many Saws have there been? I don't know. Saw fucking 11. Like the next Saw. Like these kids thought they were gonna get murdered or die in that room and never see the light of day again, nor their parents. They just fucking lost their shit, man. I gotta say, the girls, they fucking held their shit together. They were composed. My son had he invited 3 girls and like 5 boys. The boys were the biggest pusses, man. Especially 2 of the kids. Now, my son, he digs he is a fan of the mystique. He loves mystery. He likes scary shit. I don't like scary shit. I hate fucking horror movies. I can't stand it. I feel like I was even less sensitive to scary horror movies when I was younger than what I am now. Now I'm like, fuck that shit. Like I will, you know what I mean? I'll me tapo los ojos. I'll try to cover my eyes not to see certain shit, or like my ears. I just can't deal with it. I don't do it. My son, I can see he has a liking to it. So my son sees his friends freaking out, and he's like, yo, Pops, do something. And I'm like, you motherfuckers need to chill. Everybody, callados ahora mismo. I can tell these kids to like shut up and just listen and just relax. I'm like, cuenta hasta 10. I'm like, count to 10, relax. I'm like talking to the camera. I'm like, hey, say something. And this bitch, like the she just like going from one clue to the next. All we heard was clues popping every time, coming up on this mirror. I'm sorry if I'm not doing justice. I for those that don't know what an escape room is, like I said, clues are given. You have to figure out the clues in order to find your way out the room. And it was really cool, man. It was like, the symbols, you had to put them in order. There was kind of like, okay, Mystique movie. One of the boys is like, tell the bitch. Oh, that's what it was. He's like, tell her to turn down the music. I was like, turn down the music. It was a disaster. It was hilarious. In hindsight, it was funny, man. Not at the time. Not at the time. I was tired. The biggest thing, I had my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter with me. Not for 4-year-olds, for sure not. The thing is, wherever her big brother goes, she wants to go. And she's very brave too. So I was like, well, I'm there, big brother's there, nothing can go wrong. I didn't anticipate any of this, mind you. And, she's in tears. So she will not even like get off him. I'm holding her the entire time. It's heavy, man. She's a, 4-year-old, big 4-year-old. And trying to look for clues, trying to read the motherfucking clues, keep the boys chill. The girls, like I said, they were troopers. And them and my son, they were just going through the stuff. My son was just getting frustrated because he couldn't put the clues together fast enough to actually put them on the board to eventually go on. He was like, it's my birthday. Like, he's screaming, he's pissed off. He's like, it's my birthday, I'm the protagonist, I'm supposed to put the fucking clues on the board and then twist the board so that another valve opens. And oh my god, I think you can sense that it was stressful. It was an hour long. I had to leave with my daughter to go find my wife and the rest of the parents who were at the bar. Loving San Jordi, beautiful Sunday, just, knocking back a few while I'm like, aging another fucking 10 years in 60 minutes. Honestly to God. So I go out, I'm like, yo, hey, come and pick up Joya. And I'm like, these 2 boys, I forget their names. I'll save them the embarrassment, you big pussies, you. And one of the boys, a big puss. He's like, the chulito, el más. The parents might be watching this, so let me just pause myself there. Pero vamos, era el más creído, or at least the most popular, I think, from what I was judging. He would turn out to be the biggest puss, no doubt about it. I'm like, these kids are crying, so I'm going back into the room, and these kids are like, where the fuck are you? You fucking leaving us alone? So I left them alone maybe 5 minutes, okay? Not even. And I get like just abuse from the other kids that were still in the room that I had left them, so they fucking panicked the fuck out. Man, I don't know, man. It was it was a disaster. If you're a parent listening and your kids are be safe. 12 years old, less than 12. I think 11 is all right. I thought it was all right, for 8. I think for some mature ones, it's fine. Don't go to an escape room for your birthday party. You're setting yourself up for hell. So yeah, that was my Sunday afternoon. Didn't get to watch the game until later when we got home. Mind you, all the kids obviously came back here, broke my goddamn house down. Fucking just rearranged it, redecorated it, repainted it, painted it blue and red. Until like 9 p.m. till the last mom left around 10 p.m. But she was cool and her kids all right. So I was just tired, man. And today, fully back at work. And then finally got during the party, I kind of like escaped upstairs and watched the game. So yeah, that's what's up. Let's talk about it, huh? We got some issues, folks. Barça have got some issues. There's no doubt about it. And sorry for this long rant. It's just that with a face like this, I need to explain why I look the way that I do, I feel. And why my energy is so low, especially if I'm alone. Seems that not everybody enjoyed my last solo sesh. So, yeah. Least I can do is give you guys an explanation as to why I'm low energy and probably digressing, going off topic, which I have. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about the game. Not a good game. I thought both, probably a tie would have been a good result. We hung in there thanks to Ter Stegen. Barça, in my opinion, it's clear now we have a bit of an issue, don't we? Certain somebodies aren't scoring. Certain somebodies are a little bit too obsessed with themselves scoring. Certain somebodies will most likely end up being the Pichichi, yes, but are definitely not having a good second half of the season. And that certain somebodies almost committed an unforgivable mistake around the 70th minute mark, was it? Could have put the game to bed, killed it off. Instead, because of sheer and utter selfish reasons, decided to hang on to the ball and go for glory and go glory hunting, man. I mean, that Lewy non-pass and shot while Oblak was running, charging towards him again with still, I want to say it was around the 70th minute mark with still plenty of minutes to go, good 20 minutes or so or less, more than 15, I believe it was. How dangerous would that have been if that wouldn't have, or that seeing that didn't end up in a goal, and seeing the chances that Atletico had, especially from like a right around, like Atletico had a streak where I should say the game had a streak where it was back and forth, especially in the second half. As I felt that Barça were, from around the 50th minute mark, I'll be loose here, until the 70th, in that sequence of minutes, a good 20 minutes, this game could have been decided and gone anywhere, either or in a tie or in a multiple goal win for Barça. And I'm pointing this out because it was crucial. It was crucial to get the second goal, and for an inexplicable reason, Lewy sees Oblak coming, definitely sees that Rafinha is right there, and he can play him the ball onside for a good tap in. And instead, man, he fucking shites it. Like, he just puts it on goal, tries to put it past Oblak, which he does, but goes wide off the mark. Had it been a goal, I would have still been as critical of that situation where the pass was obvious, no, fucking obvious to make. Honestly, had he had scored, I would have said he was playing with fire. Given the moment of the game it was, given the sequence that it was, and I forget if it was Hermoso, I don't know if it was Savic running, but somebody is charging back, maybe it was Jimenez, to obviously prevent the pass from Rafinha happening. But well before that, he could have already played, Rafinha in deep, comes running onto the ball. He had the pass. There is absolutely no excuse. I would love to have been a fly on the wall today in the Ciutat Sportiva Joan Gamper on Camp Tito Vilanova, where this morning Xavi Hernandez trained with all of the available players, which included several players from the youth squads, as well as Barça Atletico, the likes of Marc Casado, Ángel Alarcón. I will talk about Lamine Yamal in a minute. I'm having fun here. A little bit of Barça TV Plus content for you, rhetoric for you. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall at the Ciutat Sportiva to hear the excuse and the apology from Lewandowski if he hadn't already given it in the locker room, because he should have given it on the field, and I didn't see any communication other than some dead stares. That is inexcusable. Lewy, you get your Pichichi, bro. Benzi, this is not his season. What are the standings? What are the standings? I'm going to look it up, because for the life of me, I could not understand why you would go for own glory. Here it is. What? No, that's not right. Oh, okay. 17 goals for Lewandowski. 14. It's tighter than I thought. I thought he was on 13. 14 for Benz. And this is funny that Enes Unai is coming in third for Getafe. It's funny because I wouldn't picture Enes Unai in the race for Pichichi, especially not a team like Getafe. It's a surprise to me. I would have expected Borja Iglesias, Iago Aspas, if you will. Well, good for Enes. So maybe that's on his mind. He's desperate to win the Pichichi. I don't know, man. I'll tell you what I'm desperate for this fucking league to be done and dusted and over with. And coming off of the back of two goalless draws, where Madrid have managed to make up points, and there's still 8 matches left to play. Okay, where you only need at this point in time, I think, 11 points to mathematically win the league. You pass that fucking ball. I don't care if it's Rafinha. I don't care if it's Eddie Garcia. I don't care if it's Ter Stegen. I don't fucking care if it's a stray cat running onto the goddamn field like they sometimes do. You pass the motherfucking cat the ball and hope that it bounces off of the cat's head into the back of the goal with an Oblak that is chasing your ass down. You understand? That's what you do. No excuse. Lewy, you've been great. Great signing. Don't know where we would be without you. 17 fucking goals in La Liga Santander. You'll get your Pichichi. Something would have to go terribly wrong if you don't. But that, my friend, if that would have cost us points, because in the next sequence, Atletico, in a Griezmann, nice little play, he finally gets the goal that he had been... that Griezmann... Antoine wanted to score in the Camp Nou, man. You know it. He would have loved to have put one up against his former club. He would have loved it. I think the culés have treated him, at least in the stadium, well. I don't think... not because of excessive booing or anything of that nature. But, at the end of the day, we shipped them away. And in those scenarios, players look for motivation to try and hoit you. And Antoine, from the get-go, was inspired with a beautiful chance after like 30, 40 seconds. And then he had this back heel. And, if it wasn't for Ter Stegen, he would have had that goal as well inside of the 18-yard box. And it would have been 1-1. Toma ya. Another 2 points gone. 9 points. ¡Hay liga! ¡Hay liga, señores! We don't need that shit. I hope Xavi's talking to him. I hope he apologized. Because it's... that one it just had me really pissed, man. It really pissed me off seeing that moment. Couldn't believe it. It was such a beautiful bit. And just the play before, we had another chance to score the goal. And it didn't. I don't remember if Oblak saved it. I don't remember exactly the sequence. I just remember we had a chance to, a chance on goal or a chance to put one past Oblak. It didn't happen. But on the next play, Ter Stegen plays it long, plays it high up the pitch, beating all the defensive lines. Lewy and Rafinha, both on side, run up to the ball. Oblak does something inexplicable to me. I mean, when you see Oblak like pop out from the bottom of your screen, like, oh shit, Oblak is way outside of his fucking goal. Pass it to Rafinha! Kill it off! No, I'm gonna fucking do. It's just like, oh God, no! What do you? What? Oh, it's wide, you fuck. Oh, fuck. No. Don't do that again. All right, folks. And with that, I beat Barça Atletico to death. There's nothing else to say about it, in my opinion. Other than, like I said, game that could have ended in a draw. Probably should have. If I was 100% neutral and unbiased, probably would say that. Should have, could have, would have, but didn't, though. Should have, could have, would have, but didn't. Instead, we took a massive step forward to reclaiming the league trophy and putting the 27th in the bag. Feels good. Feels very good. All the while, Rayo Vallecano, big games for Barça and Madrid. Games where we can both drop points. Make no mistake about it. We know how tough Girona make it. So, especially Montilivi. Michel, vamos! You can do it! It's not going to be a cakewalk for Hermanji. And they drew last time, right? Against Girona in the first leg, in the first half of the season. And of course, Rayo, we have not been able to, since they have been promoted, Barça have not been able to beat them, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's accurate. Since Rayo Vallecano has been promoted, Barça have not been able to beat the humble club from Vallecas. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. It's going to be an interesting match day 31 for Madrid. You guys play tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I just looked it up. And Barça, we play Wednesday, kickoff at 10 p.m. in the evening. So, late one. I'll need to catch a couple of these if I want to stay awake. Because with this face, I am going to bed very soon. On that note, right on cue, the family has walked in. My kids will have heard me say, I'm going to bed soon. That means for them, to bed soon as well. Early night at the Lorraine house, as we all need to rest up after an intense weekend. My God. I need to have a word with my son as well to see how these traumatized kids were on this Monday morning at school. So I'm looking forward to that conversation. I'll make sure to share it with you if anything funny has come out. Anything else? I feel like I was just about to say something else. No, I'm gonna leave it there. I'll catch up with you guys later in the week. On Thursday, we'll discuss Matchday 31 for patrons only. So make sure you jump on over to patreon.com/churros y tácticas. I am so tired. I can't even roll the R's. And join us there for more upbeat podcasts. Hopefully Kiyan will be there. I need to get a hold of him. Hopefully he'll be there so I can speak to the man. Okay? Vamos. Churros. Monday. Monday's in the bag. It can only get better from here. Fuck Mondays. Love you guys. Fuck Mondays except for churros. Love you guys. Until the next one. Paz.